Hi, April. How are you doing? Are you busy right now? Because I thought you might be too busy wallowing in the fact that you weren't invited to Sebastian's wedding. It's kind of funny how we're experiencing completely different things. Because you're depressed while I'm having just a wonderful time. This wedding is so gorgeous. I'm having such a great time. It's really incredible. I just have such great taste. This wedding turned out amazing. I can't believe you have the nerve to contact me after what you did. I know that you're the reason that I wasn't invited to the wedding. You begged Sebastian not to invite me, his own mother, to one of the most important events of his life. I mean, of course I asked him to not invite you. I have eyes. Have you seen yourself? You're absolutely hideous. I didn't want you to destroy my beautifully curated special day. Having an uggo at my wedding was not part of the plan. It's really shocking because Sully is quite good looking. I really don't know what you did to convince him to marry you. That's it. That's the reason you made sure I wasn't invited. It's a valid reason. The photos and videos of this day are going to last forever. Do you think we would want your face ruining these special memories? Not only are you hard on the eyes, but you kind of dress like a poor person. It's almost like you're cursed to be poor. I'm surprised that at your age you haven't learned to dress yourself. I didn't want you bringing any bad energy on my special day, and I didn't want to take any risks on the most important day of my life. It's my wedding. It had to be perfect. What have you been telling people about my absence? Most people expect the groom's parents to be at a wedding, so I'm sure people are wondering where I am. Oh, don't worry about that. I have it all covered. I told everyone that you and Sully got divorced, so it was just difficult for you to be there today. What? Why would you say that? That's not something to joke about, you know. I thought it was a great idea, especially since no one wants to talk about divorce at a wedding. Why would you tell a lie that can so easily be proven false? People are going to immediately find out that we aren't divorced. What are you going to do when the wedding's over and everything's back to normal? Everyone will see that we're still together. Gosh, calm down. Just like I came up with that genius idea, I had another spark of inspiration. I made sure that the divorce wasn't a lie. See? Everything's going to be fine. What's that supposed to mean? I don't know how to make things clearer. I made sure that you two getting a divorce was the truth. You still aren't making any sense. You're saying Sully and I are actually divorced? Yes, exactly. Took you long enough. It's like trying to teach the elderly how to use the internet. I went ahead and filled out the forms to petition for divorce and filed them with the court. What? Why would you do that? I'm just a very detail-oriented person. I make sure that nothing gets left behind. It's really incredible how I just think of everything, isn't it? I can't believe my eyes right now. Did you really file for divorce? How? I never signed anything. I don't even know what those forms look like. How could you file the petition when I've never even looked at these documents, let alone signed them? You're so silly. I told you I did it all. I took care of the whole thing, so you have nothing to worry about. Yes, you keep saying that you did it, but how would you have done it? What do you mean? You just fill out the forms and then submit them to the court to start the divorce process. But I never filled out any forms. I know. I keep telling you I took care of it for you. Are you okay? I know you're old, but you shouldn't have memory issues yet. I really don't know how you're not getting it. It's especially rude of you to not make an effort to understand since I'm taking time out of my own wedding to explain a favor I did for you. It can't be that hard to understand. Unless you're just that stupid. I know you're ugly and old, but are you really stupid too? Maybe I should have assumed that from how you dress yourself. It's just so ridiculous. Who does something like that? It doesn't even sound like it would be possible to file for someone else's divorce. Oh, it might just be an age thing. It might be difficult to keep up with society when you're getting left behind even more every day. Ella, I'm really not that old. I'm only 58 and I'm still working full-time. 58 is so much older than me. You have 30 years on me. I'm sorry, but I have to be the one to tell you the truth. You're an old hag. Okay, I'm feeling nice, so I'll explain everything one more time. Aren't you happy to have such a nice person marrying Sebastian? This is it, so listen closely, okay? I'm not going to repeat myself again. I, in an act of the utmost kindness, went out of my way to file documents for your divorce. In other words, I did you a big favor. Isn't it great? Do you finally get it now? Is everything clear, Granny? So you filed divorce paperwork on behalf of Sully and I somehow. Yes, exactly! I guess your old brain still is working. Ugh, it's such a pain to explain things to the elderly. You're lucky I'm so patient. Why would you think you could just do that without anyone's permission? I mean, I talked to Sebastian and Sully about it, and they both said it was okay. What? Sebastian and Sully both said they're okay with this. You're really sure that they're both on board with this? Of course they are. I'm not stupid like you. I wouldn't do something they didn't want. Unlike you, who tortured them every day by making them look at your hideous face. They both jumped at the idea. I think they're excited to start their new life. Now that they're free from you, they feel so much better. Sebastian really said all of that about me. He did. He actually complains about you almost every single day. I know his job can be stressful too, but he honestly complained about you more than anything. He said that you were an old hag that nags too much. It must really be terrible to not only be so hideous, but to be such a failure that even your only son hates you. I mean, anything I ever said to him was just because I was looking out for him. I never meant to pester him. I just worry about him. You know how Sebastian can be. Sometimes he's not the most cautious person. Maybe you should have spent more time worrying about yourself. Then maybe you could do something about that face of yours. Regardless of how you feel about my appearance, I'm still your mother-in-law. I don't understand how you could speak to me like that. I don't know how you could speak to anyone like that. Do you treat your own parents the same way? Do they know what kind of person you are? There it is, the hag nag. It's so annoying. You should really shut up. Maybe you could learn a thing or two from my parents. They never complained about anything I did. Do you know why they stayed out of my way? As a parent, I can't imagine why they would do that. Well, it's because I'm beautiful. Just drop-dead gorgeous. This conversation is getting more confusing by the minute. What are you talking about? My parents are just so proud to have a daughter that turned into such a stunning woman. They let me get away with pretty much anything. I turned out so amazing that there was nothing else to improve on. Nothing that could make me better. I've never even gotten in trouble a single time with them in my entire life. I can see how you grew up to be an ill-mannered, spoiled princess. What's with the rude comments after everything I've done for you? Is this the dreaded nagging of the mother-in-law that wives have to deal with? Well, too bad. I couldn't care less about what you say to me. I only listen to people who are at least as good-looking as me, or above. That's a joke because I'm a perfect 10. Not only that, but now that you're divorced, it's not like you're really Sebastian's mother anymore. Which also means you're not even my mother-in-law. Hooray for me! So don't act like you have any power over me. Because you don't. You're just some ugly, divorced hag. That's really not how any of this works. Even if the divorce was real, I would still be Sebastian's mother, so nothing would change. I am still your mother-in-law, and you should be respectful. I don't care. That's not how I see it. So to me, you're nothing. I'm sure you were overjoyed to find out that Sebastian could marry such a rich debutante like me. But I can't have some unrelated rando tied to me. And Sebastian agrees as well. You just don't fit into the kind of family we're envisioning. I couldn't care less about your family's money. I've honestly never even thought about it your entire relationship. You really think I would believe that? I'm not slow like you. There's no way you didn't think about the money. I'm sure you made a bunch of plans now that Sebastian was marrying such a rich person. Like thinking everything in your retirement would be taken care of, that you could go on trips and have a better lifestyle. But you won't get any of that. I don't want to spend my precious money taking care of some ugly monster. Not only do I not want to take care of you, I actually would prefer if you disappeared already. I think that would make everyone so much happier. You'd actually be useful for once. Isn't that great? I honestly never planned on using any of your money. Like I said before, I still work full-time and have my own retirement funds and savings, so I'll be just fine. That doesn't sound convincing at all. I'm sure you're just trying to act like some good person who doesn't care about money because you make so little. I don't care about the money. What's more important right now is Sully. Did he really say he was okay with the divorce? Of course he did. Is it really so hard to believe that he would want to leave you? It's only natural that he would choose his beautiful daughter-in-law's side over his ugly, evil ex-wife. Sully even signed his part of the divorce petition himself. Even Sebastian helped out where he could. They both couldn't wait to get the process started. Isn't it wonderful? All of us working together so well already as a new family. So, how does it feel to be thought of as unnecessary by everyone? Your own family doesn't even want you. I mean, I've always been a welcome present, so I can't relate at all. But it must be so horrible. Of course it is. I'm completely in shock. I've spent a good portion of my life to provide a good life for Sebastian and to be a good partner to Sully. I never thought that they would think of me like this. That's so hilarious. First the wedding and now this? So much crying for you today. Most people don't look good when they cry. Except for me, of course. So wouldn't an ugly hag make the ugliest crier ever? No, I'm not crying. I'm stronger than you think. I guess that makes sense. You've probably been ugly your whole life, so you must be used to being hated. Just being born with that face of yours, your life must be awful. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm lucky I'm so beautiful. Like I said, I'm even pretty when I cry. That's definitely not the case for you, though. Just imagining you crying makes me feel like I'm going to be sick. You call yourself beautiful, but the things you say are so ugly. Sorry, I'm just such an honest and truthful person. I can't help but tell you the truth, too. Also, I've been holding back since the moment we met. It's been such a struggle until now. So I'm happy that I can finally tell you how I feel. There's no way I was going to be related, even by law, to someone so hideous. Even if you feel that way, there was no need to go this far. I've been nothing but kind to you, and you've been extremely unkind. If anyone was unkind to you, it was fate, maybe. Letting you be born with such an ugly face like that. It's truly cruel. Being born into the world with that face of yours was just the first of many unfortunate events destined to ruin your life. I've never thought of myself as an unfortunate person, and I like to think I've had a pretty nice life. But maybe I made some mistakes in who I chose to share that life with. We were married for 35 years. That's more than half of my life that I've shared with that man. I never would have thought that he would treat me like this. I can't believe it either. To think that he would put up with someone like you for 35 whole years. If I were in his shoes, I would have left long ago. Actually, I don't think I would have even married you in the first place because, ew. I know it's important to be strong and endure hard times, but that seems excessive. If that's really what both my husband and son want, I'll go along with it. There's nothing else for me to say about it, and I'd rather not stand in the way of their happiness. I'm okay with moving on. Well, that's great to hear. I guess we can go off and start our life as newlyweds. I'm so happy that I won't have to worry about looking at you ever again. We're going to be the ideal good-looking power couple and live happily ever after. I'm sure your life will continue to suck, but good luck with everything. Make sure not to party too hard, but also don't stick around for too long. Just live a nice, simple life for a few more years, then be on your way. That way, we'll get the inheritance we deserve. Not like there's anything for an uggo like you to spend your money on. Oh, I almost forgot, but there's something else I needed to tell you. What now? I thought we were finished. Well, maybe if you were smarter, I wouldn't have to worry. But considering how our conversation earlier went, I think it's safest if I make things crystal clear, since you have a hard time understanding things. Fine. What do you want? Well, Sebastian and I will be leaving for our amazing honeymoon soon. So I just wanted to make sure that you will be gone by the time we got back. That should be enough time, right? What? Why would I leave my own home? Sebastian, Sully, and I will be living together as one happy family, so it would be pretty awkward if you were there too. Ah, I see. And I'm assuming they're both on board with me moving out too, right? Of course they are. Why would they want a hideous ghost of the past haunting their new happy life? Not only that, but it would just be so rude of you to stay in Sully's home. You're divorced now. It's only natural to leave and get your own place. I know I said to leave by the time we got back, but you should really just move out ASAP. It's already really uncomfortable to think about some stranger living in our home. Okay, fine. I get it. It's not like I was going to keep trying to live here either. Great! Now I can go enjoy my honeymoon with peace of mind. Wow, good for you. Don't act like you don't care. It's not that I don't care. I'm just over it all. Oh, by the way, Sully is going on vacation as well. I see. That's why he hasn't come home from the wedding yet. Yep, that's right. I'm glad you're getting all this so quickly. Unlike earlier when your granny brain couldn't keep up. Maybe your senses are heightened because you're in survival mode after being abandoned by your family. It sounds sad, but it's your own fault they left, so it's honestly pathetic. Are you going to have to live on the streets now? Nope, I'll be just fine. Well, just to be safe, let me make this clear as well. Even if you need help, don't bother us, okay? You're a complete stranger now, and we don't give handouts. Yes, that's true. I'll keep doing my best so that I don't have to ask you for anything. I just imagined your ugly face all fired up to work hard, and I can't stop laughing. Thanks for the hilarious mental image. At least you have that going for you. It's always funny to see an ugly person try to do anything. Sure. Anyways, when will you be returning from your honeymoon? We'll be back in 3 weeks, so that should give you more than enough time to leave. My parents actually gifted us an all-expenses-paid trip, so we were able to get a few different stops in and take it slow. I can't wait to leave. In 3 weeks. Got it. When will Sully be back? Well, he said his vacation would be around the same length, so around 3 weeks as well. He said he was going to take it slow and maybe visit a resort himself. He deserves some rest after tolerating your marriage for so long. Hopefully, all three of us will be super refreshed by the time we get back and we can start our life as a happy family. That's great for you. I'll make sure to be gone before everyone is back. Fantastic! I'm so happy to hear that. We'll be able to start our new lives together without worrying about seeing you around. Yes, that's right. Okay then. Well, I'll go and enjoy my honeymoon. Make sure to not leave anything behind. I'm not going to bring it to you. Nor do I want you coming by for it, so if you leave something, it's going to be thrown out. It honestly would ruin my mood even looking at your stuff. So I'd actually prefer if you didn't leave anything, though. And don't forget to clean everything, too. I don't want any trace of you left, even in the dust. Sure, I'll take care of everything. Okay, then. Have a nice life. Not that I think you can. Hey, April! Where are you? What do you want? Can you please stop calling me? I'm pretty sure there's nothing left to discuss between us. What is this? Explain everything! Explain what? Can you be more specific? Don't play dumb. Why is the house up for sale? Oh, I see. That's what you were calling about. I knew it. This is all you, isn't it? What did you do? I mean, I did exactly as you wanted. I took all my belongings and left before you got back from your honeymoon. I told you we were going to live there after we got back. Why would you put it up for sale? Also, who gave you the right to do that? I was just doing what you asked of me. You said to make sure I took care of all my belongings, so I made sure to get rid of everything I wasn't going to bring with me. I did exactly that, and took care of everything I didn't want. What does that mean? I'll have you know, I worked really hard to give you what you wanted. 3 weeks sounds like a lot of time, but on top of finding a new place, finalizing the divorce, moving everything out, doing touch-ups, finding a realtor, and getting the staging done, it really wasn't that much time. I personally would have liked at least another month to maybe do some small renovations to make the house a bit more modern, but I'm friends with a realtor who was happy to list the house as is. So we were able to expedite things and got it on the market ASAP, especially with the great location. She was happy to help. It's not your house to sell. It's Sully's, and he's not going to be happy about this. Did he say that it was his? Yeah, that's what he told me. That's why he also wanted to kick you out, so the three of us could live in his house together. Oh, Sully. How funny. I know it's been 35 years since we got married, but you would think that he'd remember something this important. But I guess when you've been together that long, it's only natural to assume you share things, like you've been sharing your life. What are you babbling about, Grandma? Well, that house was a wedding gift. From my father. When he passed, it became my property. So it's always been mine. And as part of my belongings, I would take care of it like I said I would. What? I mean, did he really think that it was his just because he's lived there for the past 35 years? He doesn't own the city just because he's lived there his whole life. So why would he think the house is any different? Maybe I should be worried. Has he been having any other issues with his memory lately? I mean, there's nothing I can do about it now. We're finally divorced, so it's your problem as his new family. Finally divorced? What do you mean by that? I suggested that we split up before, but he didn't agree. He said he wanted to stay together, so I tried to make it work, but it's been hard. Why would you be the one trying to divorce him? He's just so careless with money. It's always been a problem, but it's gotten worse with time. I've brought it up multiple times throughout our marriage, but he's never listened. I've been doing my best to make sure we follow a budget, but there's only so much I can do when he's not willing to make an effort. Then where did he get all his money from? What makes you think he has any money? Sebastian said so. He said that his dad got $500,000 as a retirement bonus. Well, he's not wrong. The bonus was around that much. Then we should be fine for a while. That'll last us for a good amount of time. He could even just use it to get us a new place. Like maybe one of those luxury condos that were just recently finished. I think you're forgetting about the other thing I said. Remember? Oh, he's pretty careless when it comes to money. Do you really think he would still have that much lying around? Huh? I'm pretty sure he's already spent all of it, either on gambling or making some risky investments. What about the investments? Surely at least one of them worked out. Nope. All he thought about was getting rich quick, so he didn't really vet anything. Now his net worth is negative thanks to all of the debt he has. He's in debt? No one told me about that. Yeah, he sure is. He was still my husband, and it's not like he's never helped me out, so I thought I should try and support him. But trying to help someone who won't help themselves really takes a toll on you. He hasn't worked in a few years now, so he doesn't really have any income. He's been using his Social Security to make payments, but it's not enough to make any significant impact on his debt. Which is why he needed money for things like food and other necessities. I'm not heartless enough to just ignore that. I did what I could to help. But that's why he didn't want to get a divorce, because he was relying on my income to support himself after the bad decisions he made. That can't be true. You really did me a favor by convincing him to go through with the divorce, so thank you. What's that supposed to mean? Just that. Thanks to you, I was finally able to get divorced. Not only that, he wanted it so I don't have to feel guilty about leaving him. He must be so happy to have a rich girl like you as a daughter-in-law. That's really great for him. But he went on a vacation too. How could he afford a vacation if he was broke? I actually had that same exact question. I was pretty confused how he could put together the money for such a long vacation. But apparently he not only is in debt with banks, but he's also in debt with some shady people as well. There were some scary-looking people who came by recently looking for him. I let them know that as his ex-wife, I couldn't really help them. How could you do that? It's true, isn't it? I'm sure he'll rely on his wealthy daughter-in-law to make his troubles go away. Especially with how much you pushed for our divorce. What else would he expect? He probably thought that you were offering to take care of him just like you would your own parents. By the way, just out of curiosity, what did you say to get him to agree to the divorce? I told him that he doesn't need you anymore, since I'm a part of his family now. That it would be more fun that way, the three of us enjoying life together. Oh, he definitely thought that meant that you would take care of him. I'm 100% sure of it. I'm a part of your family now. To him meant my parents will take care of everything for us. What? That's not what I said. Besides, even if it came to that, we would be fine. My parents would definitely help their precious daughter out. So we have nothing to worry about. Oh, that reminds me. Your parents actually reached out to me. Well, they were really concerned about my absence at the wedding. And they were even more concerned when you told them that Sally and I recently got divorced. So they reached out to see if I was okay. That was really sweet of them. Why would they be worried about you? Well, they said that you can't really do anything on your own. Since you said you were going to be a stay-at-home wife, they were really worried that without me there to help teach you, Sebastian might get fed up with you. It's a bit of a traditional view, but since you chose to not work, it's only fair that you would learn how to take care of a home. What's that supposed to mean? They would never talk about me as if I was some incompetent loser. They got a bit emotional during the call and started opening up about how they regretted the way they raised you. They felt guilty about letting you become so selfish and narcissistic. They said that the only thing you knew how to do was spend money. Stop lying. They would never say such terrible things about me. They're proud of me. It seems like your marriage was a godsend to them. They said a burden had been lifted off their shoulders. They were glad that you could find someone to put up with you, because it was really wearing on them. Shut up! Stop this slander! I'm actually an honest person, just like you. I'm only sharing the truth. Your parents and I actually have a few things in common, too. I told them all about how I was selling the house and getting my own place, and it turns out they were planning to do that same thing. What? They were really worried about you burning through all of their hard-earned savings, so they were going to distance themselves a bit after you got married. You seemed so adamant about spending time with your new family, too, that they were planning on selling their home. I heard that they wanted a nice, quiet life in the countryside so they could spend more time together. The countryside? Where are they going? I'm not sure. It's not like they gave me all the details. If anything, shouldn't you be the one to know where they're going? You're their daughter, after all. I mean, I tried to call them multiple times during the honeymoon, but they never picked up. Oh, maybe they already moved then. Perhaps they're somewhere without good reception, since they wanted to be alone together. No way. They wouldn't just do that without telling me. They did say something about how they might just cut you off completely. How could they abandon their own daughter? Who does that to their child? Abandoned? Child? Ella, I don't think that really applies when you're a 28-year-old fully grown adult woman. I would like to think that you can at least take care of yourself at this age. Well, what am I supposed to do now? Your ex-husband is dealing with a massive amount of debt, and now my parents aren't around to provide any kind of support. Am I supposed to just live off of Sebastian's salary? Sure, he makes good money, but just his income isn't enough to support all three of us. I have a certain standard of living that I expect to be able to maintain. Oh, wait. If you're planning to rely on Sebastian, you must have not heard yet. What are you talking about? What happened with Sebastian? He was fired a while ago. I think it's been over a month now. I'm surprised he hasn't told you yet. What? That can't be true. I made sure not to say anything since he insisted on telling you himself as your fiancé. But if he hasn't told you by now, it was bound to come out soon enough. Why was he fired? He had such a good job. I don't know all the details, but apparently he was responsible for some huge mistake that cost the company a lot of money. No way. He's found a new job though, right? He isn't unemployed, is he? As far as I know, no company wants him after what happened. On top of that, he's being fined to pay for the damages too, so I've heard that it's been pretty rough. Are you telling me that there is not a single person with an income in this household? How is he planning on supporting us? How are we supposed to get by? He said something about how you would take care of things. I thought it meant you agreed to support him with your job, but now I see that it was just your parents' wealth that he was referring to. How could he just expect me to pay for everything without even consulting me? Is he stupid? Who would do that? I agree. It's pretty unbelievable. You would think that he would know better. I guess that's another thing your parents and I have in common. I also failed with raising him. Nothing I taught him seems to have stuck with him. I'm not sure where I went wrong. He seemed to have learned a lot from his father, though, including his spending habits. He really has no idea how to manage money. Why the hell did I even get married then? What was the point of all this? What did I work so hard for? I was marrying Sebastian because he had a good job at a big company. And our marriage would be believable because I'm not that out of his league. He was supposed to be able to give me everything I wanted. The picture-perfect family, the expensive vacations, the brand-name clothes. There's only so much I can do with my allowance. Oh, that's why you wanted to marry him. That makes a lot of sense. I guess it's unfortunate for you that things turned out this way then. I mean, you at least got one thing that you wanted. You said before that you wanted to be the ideal good-looking power couple. So you at least have that going for you. I hope you have a long and happy marriage together. I'm sure you two will surpass 35 years in no time. This isn't what I wanted at all. Thanks to you, I'm going to finally be able to live my life for myself. I feel a little bad, but they were the ones who wanted me to leave. So I'll enjoy my life and do everything that I couldn't until now. I'm really glad you helped me get out of such an awful situation. Thank you so much. Good luck to all three of you. Hope you have a nice life, if you can afford one. No, wait, come back. We need you. You're the only one who can help us. We can't make it without you. I'm sure we can move past this and get along. Let's all be a family together. Come back, please. Thanks to what little was left of Ella's savings, the three of them were able to find a place to stay. It's the cheapest housing around in a bad part of town, and from what I heard, it looked like it could fall apart at any moment. Sebastian is still having a hard time finding a full-time position even remotely similar to his last job. So all three of them are working part-time jobs around the clock to make ends meet. But due to my ex-husband's crippling debt, which they've barely made a dent in, money is still really tight and they're barely getting by. The three of them also seem to have a separate job together, where they work in shifts to try and contact me. All the phone calls and messages were getting to be too much, so I decided to change my number. As a little treat for the great year I had at work, I got myself a new phone as well. I'm now enjoying a peaceful life, not burdened by anyone else's issues. I've even been able to spend the time to go to workshops and explore new hobbies. I'm planning on finally taking a vacation with one of my really good friends, too. When I was still married, between my job, taking care of the house, looking after Sebastian, there was just no time to focus on myself. Now I wake up every morning excited to see what the day will bring me. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe.